What's going on, everyone? IVG here, Coach of the Tyrantons, back from my week 3 match and team builder and post commentary match against my opponent Carson, Coach of the Oshawa NIdokings. He does have that channel below, so be sure to check him out. He has done some. He had posted a few league battles and has a couple, or should I say, a lot of Nuzlocks that he has done, though he has not completed any of them. But go check him out. He's a really cool kid, and I believe he also has many other people in his channel. He also shares the channel, which with a bunch of other people. So go check him out down below. Again, his team Oshawa NIdokings. Looking at his team had very few counters to it, or had like very few counters to a few of my Pokemon. But just to go down the list, for OU he has Kyurem-black, Tapu Bulu, and Diancie. For you, he has Metagross, Krookodile, and Volcanion. For RU, he has Goodra, Meloetta, and Rotom-Heat. And for NUPU, he has Alolan-Raichu, Mudsdale, and Slowking. Of course, I'm looking at his higher tiered mons, of course, being that Kyurem-black. He always brings, or his Kyurem-black is one of his favorite mons, so he usually drafts it and picks it up and uses it a whole bunch. So that's real positive on his side. Thankfully, I know how I have ways to counter it. His Tapu Bulu really fits well with the Kyurem-black, basically saying that with the grassy terrain, negating the moves Earthquake, Bulldoze, and I forget what the other move was. I think in Magnitude, and negates those 3 moves, and pairing it up with Diancie, Metagross, and Volcanion, who are weak to ground type moves, actually helps it. And also, not to mention, Alolan-Raichu can benefit from that as well. Diancie, real fast mon, base 700. Golly, can't believe there's a Pokemon that stat running around. Metagross is all around versatile. Of course, you see it offensively, have maybe Stealth Rocks. Krookodile, always on the offensive, can either be Scarf, Band-Aid, Life Orb, or just a lead. Volcanion, same thing as Krookodile. Most of the time you see it all out offensive. Maybe have a sub to go with it. Goodra is very bulky, but also hits very hard, whether it be on the physical or special side. Meloetta, though I do not see coming, does provide a good source for his team because it also does something good, specially and physically offensive, with both of its forms. Rotom-Heat is a real good defensive mob. I have used it myself, so I wouldn't know what I'm saying. And it does provide coverage for his team. Alolan-Raichu, real good fast mon, can set up with Nasty Plot and sweep a team. Mudsdale, though it has real high attack, high defensive, real slow, but can do a lot of things with on the right side, and has Slowking for a little bit of coverage and a backup water type. Now for my team, I build it around. Of course, when I team build, I built around no matter what sort of Pokemon they bring, no matter what team of 6 my opponent bring, and I basically build this team. Starting off, we have Pocket Head the Magurna, Electrium Z, of course Soul Heart's ability, Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Shift Gear, Max Special Attack, a little bit of speed, or a whole lot of speed, where it is enough to outspeed Scarf, Kyurem-black by, I believe, 1. And since I basically based it off of Kyurem because Kyurem is his fastest Pokemon to be scarfed. I think aside from pure Meloetta, which I doubt he was going to bring, so I based it off of Choice Scarf Kyurem, so that way I would outspeed with a shift gear, with 1 shift gear. Flash Cannon was a stab move that I wanted to bring. Does cover up all of his OU. I'm going to point this out. All his OU picks are very weak to steel, And basically this whole team is very weak still. He does have Metagross, Krookodile, Rotom-Heat, and Mudsdale that can cover up for that. Even Slowking as well could cover up for that, but still takes a huge chunk out of his team because those Steel types hit very hard against his higher tiered Pokemon, and usually see those bring into every match. Thunderbolt, I bought as a coverage move, really helps me against the Volcanion and the Slowking, and I had bought Electrium Z because I needed to do I just needed to do a chunk to Metagross, and Electrium Z Thunderbolt would kill, because Metagross is the only thing that stops Megairna in his tracks, aside from, of course, Krookodile, Mudsdale if it's AV, and Rotom-Heat if it's especially defensive. But aside from that, nothing on his team can touch it. And Ice Beam is a coverage move, like I said, hits Krookodile, hits Goodra, and Mudsdale. So with this, I'm able to actually, to this being my win con, I'm actually able to face really well against Carson. The only thing that stops it is, of course, the Metagross, and especially if it's Assault Vest. Next up, we have Sanchez, the Weavile, Life Orb, Knockoff, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, and Poison Jab. Max attack, max speed. Mainly because Knockoff, Icicle Crash, and Ice Shard, stab moves that I want, they really cover up well against this team. Knockoff can knock off any item, Ice Crash does damage, and Ice Shard is priority. Always need priority for your team, and a really good necessity for your team. And Poison Jab is coverage for his Tapu Bulu, and also does a bit of damage to Diancie. I think it's neutral, but I think it provides a good neutral attack to hit him with. Next up we have Bolt, the Mega Manectric. Of course, Lightning Rod as a regular Manectric, and then we'll turn into Intimidate. With the moves Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Flamethrower, and Signal Beam. Thunderbolt and Volt Switch are our stab moves. Thunderbolt for hitting, or just to click, and Volt Switch is to switch in and out of turns, or phase in another Pokemon that could take its place. Flamethrower coverage move really does well against Tapu Bulu, Metagross, and I think that's it. And Signal Beam is able to touch, what was it? It's able to hit Krookodile hard. I think it's super effective against Tapu Bulu, not sure. Real good coverage against Meloetta if it's not Purette form. Hits Alolan-Raichu, and hits Slowking really hard if I somehow don't manage to go for Thunderbolt on it. Next up we have 6 seconds to Suicune. I decided to run a little offensive Calm Mind with Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and HP Electric. This also sweeps his team if Megairna decides to only put up a little bit of damage and not get to sweep. Hydro Pump, of course, stab move, does real big damage to his team. Ice Beam, a good coverage move for Kyurem-black, Tapu Bulu. It's a safer option to hit Krookodile with, even though Hydro Pump is stab, does a lot more damage. It's better to hit than to hit damage and then just miss. Also good for Ice Beam is also good for Goodra. For Mudsdale, same thing for Krookodile, as I said about Krookodile. And HP Electric I had brought for one Pokemon, Volcanion, because it has Water Absorb. And if I set up Calm Mind, I'll probably be able to 2 at KO, I believe, with just one Calm Mind set up. Next up we have Roadhog, the Choice Scarf Emboar, Reckless, Flare Blitz, Superpower, Wild Charge, and Earthquake. I didn't do any speed creeping because I just wanted to outspeed or not worry about it. Flare Blitz and Superpower are stab moves. Flare Blitz gets boosted by Reckless, so it does real good damage. Wild Charge is a really good coverage move. Of course, Flare Blitz gets boosted by Reckless. Hits that Volcanion on his team, and I packed Earthquake on this team as well. For Mega Diancie, don't need to take recoil damage on the Metagross. Can hit, and also hits Alolan-Raichu. And last up we have Whitney, the Miltank, Leftover Stick Fat. Basically to count a switch in, or a backup switch in for Volcanion, if Suicune decides to go down. Body Slam, Earthquake, Miltank against Stealth Rocks. I'm not really sure if I want to set up Stealth Rocks this match, because I'm still able to sweep the Pokemon even without it. Miltank, of course, to get recover back up, paired up with leftovers. Body Slam to paralyze Pokemon, and Earthquake is coverage move for Pokemon that I need it for. Okay, I already did the battle, so I'm just gonna go straight to it. This is his team, and this is my team I had just explained. He had brought Kyurem-black, Metagross, Volcanion, Diancie, Goodra, and Krookodile. I think I said them all. He didn't decide to bring Tapu Bulu, which actually would have helped him, I believe. But then again, I probably couldn't have, because Metagross could have Earthquake, Krookodile having Earthquake negates those two moves. Possibly even Goodra having Earthquake weakens those moves, but I'm guessing he just thought that it wouldn't fit so well, so I guess he didn't bring it. But other than that, that's really all expected. And let's get straight into the battle. Turn 1, I lead with Suicune because it's my best option for his team. He leads with Krookodile, so I'm obviously set at a good position. He decided to switch out into Kyurem, so I take this turn to set up I thought I was going to set up a Calm Mind, but I instead go for Ice Beam, making a safe play. And in here, I go into Magnetic Trick because I was thinking Fusion Bolt. I would be able to get a Line Around boost, Mega Evolve, and hit something hard. But I completely forgot about Kyurem's ability, Terra Volt, which acts like Mold Breaker in the sense that it negates the ability of the Pokemon. So Lightning Rod was cut through, and I was able to hit with the Electric Attack. So even still, it's still a good play on my part to go for that, because it was like the one thing that resisted it fully and was able to take a hit. And thankfully that scared him out, so I was able to Mega Evolve and Volt Switch out while he switches into Metagross, and I, in this turn, go into Suicune, I go into Emboar, and he goes into Volcanion. I didn't know if he was going to stay in for sure, or just like bait a move, so I just ended up going to Flavorless just to say play, stab move, plus Reckless, while he brings the Volcanion to take that hit. Here I go into Suicune since Suicune's able to take any sort of hit from Volcanion, no matter what it is, and not be like two-shotted. He goes to the same motion, and based on this damage, I knew he was Scarfed. Based on the calculation, I knew it was Scarf. And so in this turn, I made a little prediction that actually caused the whole game to go my way and helped me out a whole lot. This turn, I decided to swap into Magearna, and expecting him to switch out into Kyurem-black, which he does so, it's able to put me in a good spot to where that even 2 Earth Powers from a Kyurem, if he decides to have it, would not knock me out. And I knew he was not going to have pack Earth Power, because most of the time Carson runs Choice Banded Kyurem, or he has or this one set I'd seen him bring was like a Power Herb Freeze Shock set. And the only way he'd be able to 2-hit KO me was to bring Ground DMZ Earth Power, which one hit wouldn't kill me, but of course the next hit would. But I doubt he would even bring that, so I decided to bring him Magearna, which is still a good play. He switches out in Metagross, which gives me a really good setup for Shift Gear, and I'm able to click Electric Z, or not Electric Z, I'm able to click Thunderbolt, or Z Thunderbolt, Gigavolt Havoc, and the only way he would have lived if he was Assault Vest, but thankfully he was not. He is more of a defensive set, and I was able to knock out Metagross. Now, I was very questioned about because he had gone through his whole team, and the last Pokemon he decided to bring out was Goodra. And a question because he could have possibly lived an Ice Beam and probably revenge killed me or something. Don't know what could it be, but he actually could have done something with Goodra. But instead he decides to sack all of his other Pokemon in turn, and I'm able to sweep Magearna. And being that his last Pokemon was Kyurem, I'm able to get up to +5. And I'm able to knock out the Goodra with Ice Beam. This is probably the only thing that could have stopped me after the Metagross. And this actually ends up in my favor, and I do win the battle 6-0. Magearna getting all kills on the road to being a kill leader and putting us at our first win. Finally. Anyways, thank you to Carson for a really good battle that actually helped me win. And thank you all for watching. Hopefully we'll see more of these battles. Or, I should say, my next battle coming up is against Heroic. coach of the Philadelphia Weavile, and that'll be next week. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you all then. Take care.